Abomination Prison, searching our deck for the Escape of the Unchained. Now, unfortunately, the Abomination's Prison itself is not an Unchained card, and I definitely did not learn that the hard way when trying to Samira it from the graveyard onto the field. Did not try that at all. We're going to be popping our Trap, trigger the effect to summon from the deck a Shayama, and with that, we are going to be making an Unchained Yama. Yama will search our deck, but it could also add from the graveyard, so the Ghost Bell is a negate. Finger the bell. Get out of here. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated that includes the effect of special summon, detach to negate and destroy. This doesn't stop birth because it is only able to negate the effect of a monster, not the effect of a spell or trap. It can only negate the spell or trap card, not the effect. Do you understand that? All right, let's go. And it's double activatable. We also have the Unchained, the Escape of the Unchained, which could pop a card in the field by popping your Unchained. And then we have the Soul of Rage, which could link with the opponent's fields, a special summon monster. Let's see what's good. When are we doing everything? Got the Wagon. Wagon's not special summon, so we can't use the Rage to link up with it. Ash is going to negate the Search with the Wagon. The Wagon is semi-limited in today's event. We are abiding by the new ban list. We're going to use the Peacemaker to equip. Now, we are activating right here, right now, the Escape of the Unchained before they activate the Peacemaker to summon a monster from the deck, wipe it out. Now, we have the Soul of Rage activating for just a follow-up play. This is not adding to the current field right now. Your finger, do you not remember? Ghost Bell activating, trying to negate the Sarama from being added in the graveyard, but the finger extends for 2 turns. So could Caesar negate the Wakashi effect of special summoning? It's an effect of special summon. This negates an effect of special summon, right? No, it does not. It cannot. Nope, it cannot, because that was not the effect of a monster. That was the effect of a continuous spell. And I just said this could not negate birth because it only negates the activation of a spell and trap card, not the effect. All right, grab the booster. Get boosting. Can we negate booster special summoning? No, again, we can't. We can't. Like, Caesar's negating nothing. It just can't. It just can't negate. What's going on, Caesar? But we can negate that. But we can't because now it's chain link blocked. So Caesar looks really freaking bad. It's had nothing it could negate. It could have negated Peacemaker. Okay, so I can argue that we should not have popped the Peacemaker play. We should have let Peacemaker activate. No, it actually can't negate Peacemaker either. Unbelievable. It just negates nothing. Can't negate Wakashi, can't negate Peacemaker, can't negate Booster, can't negate if Chainlink blocked. I promise Caesar's better than it looks right now. It looks really bad, but it's not bad. It's a good card. It's a very good card. Why can't negate? I'll explain after at the end of this duel. 3,000 damage here. Baron to floor, did it waste its negate? What's important to know with the Unchained, a lot of people have in their head that if we destroy the Unchained, they activate, right? Well, you're right and you're wrong. If this were to activate in the hand and then you Baron to floor negate it and then it gets destroyed, it would not activate because it has to be destroyed from the field. So destroying it from the hand is actually could be a good play. But we instead negated the trap set instead of the activation of the Aruha. Sarama activating on the field. If the Baron to floor were to negate that, it would then activate after being destroyed, but we already used up the negate. We have the Abominable Unchained Soul on summon discard to pop a card on the field. We're going to use the Shayama to reborn from the graveyard, pop in the Sarama, activating to summon from the deck a Sharbara. Is this a second copy of the High King Caesar? Yes, it is. And it's good for negating Nibiru. If they Nibiru, it works. And don't worry, at the end of this, I will be explaining to you what is good. Now, this is a 4-material Zeus double field wipe. Instead of the double special summon negate, which we saw Caesar was not really able to negate anything, we got the double field wipe instead. Pendulum Shokan, wipe up the field. Now, let me tell you the ruling that why it was not able to negate anything. The Caesar. How I read a card like this, I read when a card or effect is activated. What kind of effect? Only a monster effect. What kind of card? A spell and trap card. Can you activate a monster card? No, you summon it. You either activate the effect or summon a monster. So you don't activate the card of a monster. You activate the card of a spell or trap by playing it from your hand. So if a spell or trap card activates while in the graveyard, are you activating the card? No, you're activating the effect as if it were something like a monster. If the card is already on the field and you're activating the spell or trap card effect, it's the effect, not the card. So this negates the card. Card being, when played from the hand, that is the activation of the card, the physical card. It negates the physical card from the hand. Understood? Now, all those monster effects that we're activating were not monsters. As soon as the monster's equipped into the back row, it's now a spell. And it being a spell is now activating the effect of the spell, but it is no longer a monster. So you can't negate it because it's not a monster effect, and we can't negate the effect of a spell because we can only negate the card of a spell. Now, if you read something like Baron de Fleur, it reads differently. Baron de Fleur can negate the effect of a spell/trap and negate the card of a spell and trap card activation. So Baron de Fleur is right here, and this is how it's worded differently. How it's worded differently is it states that whereas the negate, when a card or effect is activated. So it doesn't specify when a spell/trap card or a monster effect is activated. It just says a card or effect. So it applies to everything. And that is the big difference when it specifies what kind of card and what kind of effect. If it doesn't specify, then it applies to everything. So we good? All right. Now, surprisingly, the D-Shifter does not hurt Unchained as much as you would think it does. All of the destruction activations do not state that they have to go to the grave. So if you destroy them and they're banished, they still work. We got Wakashi, Special Summon. Ash is going to be negating the Benki search of when you control a super heavy samurai to then search your deck for one. Very well done. Motorbike, discard, grabbing our Soul Piercer. Piercer is our normal summon. Otherwise, if we already used up the normal summon, you equip it onto a super heavy. Scarecrow. This is something that the Caesar could, in fact, negate. It's finally something that it can negate. This would be negate. And I'm guessing because we know that the D-Shifter is not that good against Unchained, that we didn't choose to play into D-Shifting them. We just discard it. We're good. We don't need that. We got Wakashi applying itself as a pendulum scale here. As we then reborn from the graveyard our level 2 tuner Motorbike to then make our Baron de Fleur Omni negate. So what are we doing with the impermanence? We're just holding on to it. Now, why did we do that? We want to have less cards in our hand so that when the opponent activates a spell or trap card like Impermanence, on the resolution, it's going to then draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. So draw 2 after they activate something. Omni negate, untargetable Crimson Dragon, and untargetable Masuaru. But so far we only have 2 disruption, but the Crimson Dragon is going to be able to target either any of our monsters, and then it's going to summon from the deck a dragon. What's that dragon going to be? Let's find out. Crimson Dragon activate, targeting the level 12 Synchro to Shokan into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. This is banned in the TCG for its effect. Its effect is activating right now. For the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. But because we're Unchained, a lot of our effects activate off of the field. We could still activate a monster from the hand to pop a card in the field that then activates in the graveyard, so the Archfiend King Calamity could be played through. We still got plays. We can't use the tour guide, though. Let's see what we got. Sarama is here to battle, activates in the graveyard if we were to have killed it through the damage step, but we're not doing that. Okay, I guess we could summon if we summon a bomb, and then we don't activate because we can't, we could then swing over the Regulus, right? That would be something. Can claim you can't miss the timing if you mess up your thing, which we did not mess it up. We knew to not do that. Despite being able to activate some cards, you know, there's still other negates in addition to not being able to activate cards in the fields. Baron to floor get popping. Imperm negate the Baron to floor. Now, the Masuwaru will activate, and you could chain DD Crow to the activation to draw 2 cards instead of 1. We're just going to draw 1. Pendulum Shokan. This is at the end of the main phase. Pop in the Sarama, triggering Sarama to then summon a monster from the deck, which will be negated. Negate. Now, the Abominable Chamber could reborn a monster from the grave. The Unchained Soul Shavara could set another trap from the deck onto the field, but it's not going to be activatable. We have the Regulus negating the activation of the chamber, and just like that, I think it's over. Yep. Good try. Valiant effort. Tour Guide activate. We're not gammaing the Tour Guide. We're just going to be going for the draws. We draw per special summon. Let's do it. Summon for the deck a Rhino, draw 1. We keep on going. We do not care. We have Yama, which could be chain link blocked by the Rhino, so it does not get destroyed or negated by Ghost Spell or the Gamma. Sending the Unchained Soul of Shavara. Wait, DD Crow against Shayama is actually pretty good, isn't it? Damn. DD Crow and Yama could also be good. We're still special summoning under Max C. What are you doing? Popping to then come forth, make an Unchained Soul of Rage. We passed on activating the Abominable Chamber from the deck. We're now going to DD Crow in the end phase, banishing the Yama. Yama checks for a card being destroyed, then it reborns a monster from the grave. Does that reborn target? It states that it's a non-target reborn. So if you were to wait for it to activate, you don't even know what they're potentially reborning. So we're just going to DD Crow it itself instead. Let's go. Holy moly, 8-card hand. And what are our disruptions? We have the ability to link off with a special summon monster. We have the ability to pop a card in the field. And if one of our cards are destroyed, the Abominable could summon and pop another card in the field. And that's pretty much what we're working with. We got about 3 disruptions plus a Max C. Special summon. Now the Rage could link off with that card if we want to, potentially. We can't link off with the Soul Piercer. We're going to use the Max C now. Motorbike gets searching. When are we disrupted? Right now. We are linking off with the Wakashi to make an Unchained Soul of Anguish. Very nicely done. Anguish, similar to Rage, can link with the opponent's monster, but only during your turn, not the opponent's. Hey, you taking that Maxi challenge also? Be my guest. Scarecrow is here. We have 2 more disruptions. When are we firing them off? Scarecrow, discard a card, reborn from the grave. Unchained. This is it. We're using Escape of the Unchained to pop the Scarecrow because it has to summon to where it's pointing to. That is our other disruption. Now, the Unchained Soul of Anguish is triggering to add the Tour Guide and the Graveyard back to our hand. We did not trigger the Abominable Unchained Soul because we could wait. We could wait within the main phase only. We could Shavara, pop our trap to then trigger the Abominable Unchained to summon, then pop any card in the field. So we got 1 more disruption. Are we doing it now? We're doing it now. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. That's unfortunate. We don't have a way to pop it now. So, target, destroy it. So what we could have done is a little bit interesting. We could activate Shavara to target the Abominable Chamber. You then chainlink to Abominable Chamber. Chamber gets negated by the Ghost Spell. The Chamber then gets, wait, the activation, so you will still destroy it, but it won't activate in the graveyard, but the Abominable will be activatable in the hand. What I'm saying is correct, right? So you don't do that to trigger the Abominable Chamber, you do it to trigger the Abominable Unchained, which would have been our pop, our much needed pop. Damn. All right, keep on drawing. Keep on drawing. We drawn into anything good. Got 4,000 attack with the Soul Horns. That is a double attack. Just like that. 8,000 damage. Lethal. Very well done. So, Shavara target the set. You can only target a set or a fiend. Then flip the set. Because Shivara says destroy it and not that target, it does not need to be face down on the resolution of the Shivara to pop it. It pops it. It does not activate because it wasn't destroyed while set, but the Abominable Unchained activates, summons, discard, pop. That was, I believe, the play. Lemon, do you agree with that? What do you think? All right. Game number 1 of a new match. Let's get to it. Again, a different match of Super Heavy Samurai, Vodka for Free, the same player who has already defeated Unchained. Can they do it again? We have Ash negating the effect of the Abominable Chamber, summoning a monster from the deck here. We're going to use the Shiyama right now to banish the Shiyama from the grave on the activation. You will still destroy the card, you just won't summon. So was it a mistake to not DD Crow earlier? Maybe we were thinking that it said destroy and summon, probably. So then we get a Sarama from the deck, set the chamber, pop the Escape of the Unchained, summoning an Aruha from the deck, making a Darius. Darius is going to go into Machine X. Now, what does Machine X do? Machine X states that what you could do is when a monster card your opponent controls activates, you could then detach 2 materials to suck it up. And we could do that twice. So double suckage. All right, get ready for the suck. No negate, not a negate. We don't have any real good negates here. We have Abominable Unchained, which could not even discard a card to pop because we have no card in the hand. We have the Chamber being negated by Ghost Bell attempting to reborn a monster from the grave, which, by the way, does not target. Non-target reborn. And you can only use each effect of the Chamber once returned, so the other copy, even though the activation was negated, can activate the other copy. Just like that, the other Chamber is dead. We now have Scarecrow, which we could suck up the Scarecrow and actually stop its effect because it has to reborn to where the zone it points to. So we're not going to even activate since we know that the Machine X stops it. Summoning the Scales, not using Machine X to suck it up. When are we sucking? Well, you think we could suck the Stardust, but you can't suck Stardust with the Machine X because it's being chain link blocked. Damn. Piercer gets Searchant, and we held our suck until now we can't suck because there's a Baron to floor. So, Baron blocks the suck. No suck. No more sucky. If you try to suck, I will negate. Pendulum Shokan here. From the hand, Wakashi, we're locked into Super Heavy Samurai only. Attempting to suck Wakashi as the Baron to floor stops the suck. No suck. Negate. As we then summon a Masuwaru, right? Masuwaru, I think, is what we're coming from here. Abominable Unchained being triggered because a card we control is destroyed, but we have no card to discard to then pop a card in the fields. So it's just a 3K. That's it. 3K body with no effect. Now, does Yama trigger off of Battle Destruction? Yes, it does. So if we destroy Yama first, then destroy the Abominable Unchained, that would be a huge mistake, which we're not doing. Playing it correctly, double attack for game with Masuwaru thanks to the horns. Very well done. Super Heavy be clapping. Tour guide from the other. It's okay. We have Call by the Grave that stops hand traps, except a hand trap that does not go to the grave on activation, which the Gamma does not. Thus, we're screwed. Shiyama does nothing in the hand. It's really bad in the hand. That's why I only play 1 copy. And the Rikeya is our normal summon, which we already used our normal summon. Oh my gosh. And the Escape of the Unchained needs to pop an Unchained monster to pop a card in the field, and we have no way to get an Unchained monster on the field. Essentially 2 bricks in our hand. This is really bad. Club of the Grave onto the motorbike. Negate the search. And that's it. We have nothing. Nothing could happen unless the opponent pops the Escape of the Unchained, which could summon an Abominable, which could then discard to pop a card in the field. But how would we pop this and why? Whoa, Battle Phase 1800. We're not inflicting lethal damage here. So that negate, that finger on the motorbike was big. Now, Aruha is going to be our activate from the hand play. Very well done. So let's say the Rikeya were to get Veilered here. We could then follow up with Aruha, pop it, and still make plays. As we're doing right now, popping the Rikeya activate, summon from the hand or deck. Shiyama is now on the field, now into the grave for the Yama. Yama could be chain link blocked by the Shavara setting a trap from the deck here, as the Yama adds a monster from the deck, or from the grave. We usually would add the Aruha. If you already activated Aruha, you could then add a monster that you could normal summon. If you already used your normal summon, you could then add the Shavara. If you don't want to add Shavara, you could then add an Abominable instead. Chamber being destroyed by Shavara, activate a summon a Sarama from the deck, activate to set from the grave to then pop a card we control, Aruha summoning another Shavara as we then go into Caesar. Anti-Nibiru. This is how we beat the Nibiru. We have Soul of Rage, which not during our turn, but during the opponent's turn, can link off with an opponent's special summon monster. Now, the Rage being destroyed by battle will trigger the Yama to reborn from the grave, as the Unchained Soul of Rage also, when being destroyed, adds the Shavara in the graveyard back to the hand, which could activate, pop a card in the field, and summon during the opponent's turn during the main phase. Back in the field, attacking again. Very well done. And the Caesar's got that double special summon negate, which we learned through another duel is not very good against Super Heavy Samurai. It's good against Scarecrow, though. We could negate Scarecrow. Adding the motorbike, discard, search our deck. We have already used up our normal summon. Wakashi is an effective special summon, but it's not a monster effect, so the Caesar cannot negate. The Rage could link off with a special summon monster as we then Shokan into a Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn on summon, discard the Shavara, spinning back the Benki back in the deck before it activates. As the Shavara being sent to the grave activates to set another Unchained from the deck onto the field. And just like that, Unchained, after losing their opening play to a Gamma, was still able to prevail thanks to the Finger. A well-timed Finger taking this into game 3. Yeah, all the powers and the skills. Got to read the skills. We have Wakashi going in. When are we going to draw Lockbird? Right here, right now. No more adding from the deck to the hand. Piercer, when sent to the grave, would add, but no, because of the Droll. We got Baguska Pass. Anything activated while in defense is negated, and everything is forced into defense. But most of the Unchained cards activate from the hand and in the grave, so it's not going to be that effective here. Now, Max C is a problem. And this is why I think some players are discussing playing Gamma in their deck for that reason right there, where we could have Gamma'd that early Max C. So if you have the Shavara or Aruha, which you play 3 of each copies, and then you play 3 of the Spell Search, that's 9 starters, that could play into a Max C on an open field to then trigger your Gamma. Does that make Gamma good? What do you think? We then have Scarecrow. Scarecrow is here, not forced into defense by the Baguska. We're going to discard a card, reborn the Piercer, use the Unchained Escape to pop the Scarecrow, thus you can't reborn a monster to where it's pointing to. Very well done. Shavara will trigger. We're triggering the Abominable, but to activate its effect on field, you have to discard Nibiru to pop a card. But it's going to be negated by Baguska, so we don't even do that. It's just going to be a body on the field, and then we're going to lean into Nibiru. Nibiru is going to be our play. Yep, to D you go. Shavara set from the deck. A non-activatable chamber. That's the end of the turn. That's it. End of the turn. But we have no play. Well, Unchained, reborn from the graveyard. DD Crow is going to be banishing the only summonable monster. So I say we don't have a play, but we actually do have one. We can go into Yama here, and Shavara could trigger. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. DD Crow into Ghost Spell. So we Shavara make Yama, activate to search. We could grab an Aruha. Shavara set a new trap, pop a new trap to summon the Aruha. We had plays. But the DD Crow and Ghost Spell has stopped not only the Finger, but the Chamber. Negate. All right. We still have our Nibiru, as long as they don't summon a Baron de Flor on the 5th summon. Now in attack position. We're locked into Super Heavy Samurai only. That's it. Summon 1, summon 2, summon 3. Search our deck for these Soul Horns. Summon 4 and we're done. Oh no, we can't Nibiru. It's on the 4th summon. We're done. We're done summoning. Piercer search our deck. Wakashi go into the back row for a Pendulum Shokan, which would be that 5th summon. Don't do it, right? Are you crazy? Of course you know about Nibiru. Just like that, not going into a 5th summon. Lethal damage with the double Masuwaru. Vodka for free, back-to-back, knocking out 2 different Unchained players. Sad. That is sad. That vodka, I am not happy with you one bit about doing that. All right.